Okay. Now let us do a small recap of last week's session. So I'll ask you some questions if you remember, or if even if otherwise if you know, jump out and tell the answer. If two people say also, it's fine. Okay. So let us start from some basic questions. Does anybody remember what is the maximum number of clubs you can put in a bag? What is the
7,
maximum number of clubs is allowed?
14,
14.
Yeah, 14. Very good. And what are the different types of clubs?
9, 12, 14.
Woods, irons, wedges, putter.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
that's correct. Iron, wood, and
Yeah. And
metal,
what
wood,
are
and
the
iron, and putter.
what are the iron numbers typically?
Iron 3 to 9.
Yeah. And what are all the wedges?
Yes.
What wedges do you remember? There were like 4 we covered. 2,
Sand wedge,
yeah. Sand wedge, okay. Pitching wedge.
Maybe you have to share the presentation, not the recording.
it's open book
It's
exam.
easy to
Still
say
you don't
answer.
remember.
Yeah, pitching wedge. Okay, pitching wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge, and lob wedge. Those are the 4 wedges. Okay. And what are all the woods?
1, 3, 5.
Yeah. 1, 3, 5. Yeah. There is also 4. 4 also. Okay. And what is the score if you get like equivalent to the expected number of stroke? What do you say?
Par.
Yeah, you get a par.
Yeah.
What is if you get one less than par?
Three, that is,
Sorry?
I remember there was something we talked about 3.
No. If the par is 4 and you get a 3, what is it called?
Body.
Birdie, right? Birdie. Birdie means 1 less. Okay. And what is 2 less? 2 less than par. 2 less than par is eagle. Okay.
Okay.
So one more thing we did not cover last time is what is 3 less than par? Like for example, if it is a par 5 and you get a shoot a 2, I don't think we covered that last week, but I was wondering whether anybody knows that. That's called albatross.
Albatross.
Albatross, yeah. So birdie means -1, eagle means -2, albatross means -3. And what is 1 stroke over par?
Bogey.
Yeah, bogey. Yeah. And what is 2 strokes over par?
Double bogey.
Double bogey. And what is 3 stroke over par?
Triple bogey.
Triple bogey. Yeah, that is correct.
Oh.
Funny that eagle is put so low.
Yeah, eagle is good. Eagle is very rarely you get. Okay, very good. So like if you have a higher number club, will it go longer or shorter?
Shorter.
Yeah. So why does the higher number club go shorter distance?
Ball goes higher because angle is more.
Yeah. So the angle is higher. So the ball will go higher and it won't travel that much distance. Right? So that's what it is. And okay, now let us see whether anybody remembers This is a tough one. Like short trajectory, right? So if it goes slightly to the left of straight, what is it called?
Start slightly to the right or left?
Left.
That's a hook?
Yeah,
Oh,
the hook is more to the left,
okay.
slightly to the left. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm talking about this. You guys can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I was asking. So if it goes slightly to the left, it's called a draw. Sorry, can you go on mute if you're not talking? Somebody's echoing. So if it goes more to the left, it is hook. Henry, can you go on mute, please?
Am I on mute now?
Yeah, Henry. Henry. So let me see. So let me see whether who is not on mute. Okay, Henry is on mute. Okay, we are good. Okay, no echo now. Yeah, so okay, this is what I was talking about, right? So if it goes slightly to the left, it's called a draw. If it goes more to the left, it is called the hook. And if it goes all the way to the left, it's called pull. So that means you pull the shot. And right, if it goes to the right slightly, it's fade. Slice. So this is what I was saying, right? So most of the people, beginners, somehow they will slice the ball. It will go to the right. And push means all the way to the right. So we discussed how to read that. So I think you should all watch the video again, right? So this one, so how to keep it straight? So this has to be perfectly aligned, right? So the ball 90 degrees aligned, then it will go straight. If you twist the club, it will go either draw or fade, right? So that's what it means here. Okay, this is where I think we left off. Let us continue from here. As before, please stop me and ask me questions. So this is a typical driver, right? So this is a driver stance, right? So if you look at it, the T is pretty high, right? If you see, the T is pretty high, and this, what is the number of this driver? Does anybody remember what is the number of this club?
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1, right? So driver is marked number 1. And does anybody remember the typical degrees of angle?
15.
No, 15 will be wood. Like it's around 10, 11, 7 to 11. That's what it said. The class said 7 to 11. Typically, it will be around 10.5. So because you want it to go long distance, right? So it is a very, very slight angle here. And if you see this ball, actually it is sitting nicely high, right? So the T is quite high here. Only for driver, you will put the T high. All the other clubs, you will put the T very low, right? So here if you see, the half the ball is sticking out of the club. So that is, if you keep the driver on the ground, and if you put the T and you put the ball, half the ball should be sticking out. This is not very clear that it is half, but that is the rule, right? So generally half the ball is sticking above the club, where the club is, right? And one more thing, if you see, this position of the leg, the front foot for a right hander, it is the left foot. Left foot is the front foot, right? So that one will be aligned with the ball, right? So this is very important actually. So you cannot put the tee between your legs. It should be aligned to your front leg. Only then you will get the distance. And look at his shoulder. Look at his shoulder, right? So his left shoulder is way above his right shoulder. So his right shoulder is below, right? So you have to basically lift your left shoulder. Only then you will get the power to hit it long, right? And so he's looking at that, and then finally when you're hitting the ball, of course you have to look at the ball. So typically what happens is he's just aiming here, he's just getting set up, but when he's actually hitting the ball, you have to look at the ball, right? So otherwise you don't worry about where the ball is going to go, right? So that is a very common mistake most of the beginners do. They are very curious to see where the ball is going so that they will lift their head. So you have to focus on your ball. You have to focus on your ball before you hit it, right? So this is a very beautiful alignment. So his leg is aligned, his shoulder is aligned, and his grip is good, and he is looking at the where it is going, right? So okay, so this is the tee box, right? So tee box is where you are starting the driver typically. Tee box is the only place where you can use the tee, which is that wooden thing, right? So you cannot use the tee anywhere else. You cannot use the tee on the fairway or greens or rough or anything. You can use the tee only in the tee box, and so there are multiple things called tees here. So the small white thing is the tee, right? So you put the ball on top of the tee, and then you also have like wooden sticks here. There are 2 wooden sticks here, right? So it looks like it's marked blue. So typically you have to keep this between these 2 tee markers, right? So you cannot, so even in the tee box you cannot put the tee anywhere. You have to put it between these 2 markers, or you can go for slightly like 2 club lengths back from each of the marker. So that is all you can do. You can never keep the tee in front of the tee markers, then you will be disqualified, right? So if this is the direction to the hole, right, and these are the 2 markers, and typically you keep the tee in between them, anywhere. It can be closer to that tee marker or this tee marker, it can be anywhere, but it should not be ahead of that, but it can be behind, but only up to 2 club lengths, right? So that is where, I mean, once you go there, it's not a magic thing. You'll figure it out, right? So if you watch anybody doing that. Now so there were 4 tee markers, 4 sets of tee markers. Does anybody remember what were the 4 sets of tee markers? Like there was blue, white, gold, and red, right? What is blue?
It's for pros.
Yeah. And white?
Regular male.
Yeah, regular male. Very good. And what about gold?
Senior citizen.
Senior?
Yeah, gold is seniors, and red is?
Women?
Yeah, women. Very good. Right. So in this case, if you can see, it is slightly blue here. Okay. So this is again nicely set up, right? So this is the driver. So you put the tee and you put the ball, and then half the ball is sticking out. So that is how you position the driver, right? So here, so if this is even more very clear here, right? So if you see the T, it's exactly aligned with her front foot, right? So it is not between the middle, right? So it is aligned with her front foot and the feet shoulder width apart. So if you see the width of the feet where it is spread out, it is same as the shoulder, right? So you don't put too wide a stance or too narrow a stance for driver, and then you put the ball in the front leg, and it says 60% of weight on right foot, because see here left shoulder higher than right? So you're lifting your left shoulder, that will automatically put some weight on your right foot. This is all for right-handed golfer. And head behind the ball, right? So head is slightly behind because you are lifting the shoulder here. So she is perfectly aligned here, right? So that was driver. So any questions on driver? So when do you use driver? Which shot do you use? You typically use the driver only for hitting long distances from the tee box, right? So you don't typically use the driver anywhere else. You don't use the driver on greens. You don't use the driver on rough or fairway, right? So driver is only used for the first shot. Each hole, first shot, you use the driver. Okay. So next one is this is chip shot, right? So chip shot means you are very close to the green. So this is the green, this is the flag, right? You want to put the ball into the hole which is in the flag, right? So look at her stance here. So her feet are together, right? Her feet are together and she doesn't swing wildly. So she is using probably a pitching wedge or a sand wedge, and then I think I have better description here. So what is a chip shot? Chip shot is a low rolling shot that travels farther on the ground than it does on the air. So it doesn't go up too much in the air, but it keeps low and then rolls. It's called chip and run, right? It's called chip and run. So typically you say chip and run. So you use this shot to advance the ball a short distance, like 35 yards or less, onto the green from the fairway or the fringe around the green. You can also chip from the rough if there is no bunker, water, or other hazard between you and your target. So if there is, let us say, I don't know whether anybody knows this, we have not covered this, but if there is a bunker, water, or other hazard between you and the target, so do you know what shot do you use instead of chip shot? So that is called a pitch shot. So it's a bit confusing, chip shot and pitch shot, right? So pitch shot keeps low and rolls on the ground, whereas chip shot, we have a slide on that. So that will go over the water or over the bunker and then roll, right? So you want it to go high. If you hit a chip shot when there is a bunker in between you and the green, it will go into the green. So that is the problem with using chip shot with a bunker. So here her feet are very close, right? And she is, the grip is pretty much the same, right? And nose in front of the ball. Okay, so this is the pitch shot. Pitch shot, here if you see, she is raising her club quite a lot. She's keeping her feet not that close like a chip shot, slightly, not like driver, but slightly spread, and the ball is between her legs, right? So for driver it was aligned with the front foot. For here pitch shot, it is in the middle. So she is using the pitch shot here because there is sand here, right? So there is sand here. She doesn't want the ball to go into the sand, and she wants to reach this flag, right? So she is spreading her legs slightly, and then she is hitting it with a higher speed, right, or higher distance. So she whereas in chip shot she will just keep the club very low, whereas here she has to raise it quite a bit depending on how much it has to go. So basically it says a pitch shot is a shot hit from around or close to the green that travels on a higher trajectory than a chip shot, right? So it will go, if she hits it, it won't roll on the ground. It will go high and then it will go into the flag. That's what you want. You want to avoid this sand trap. That is why you are using the pitch shot. You can use the same club for both, but it's typically pitch shot. You will use a pitching wedge or a sand wedge. Whereas for a chip shot, you can use like a 6 or a 7. Sometimes you can use pitching wedge also. Any questions on chip shot and pitch shot? So these are all the shot game, right? So typically what happens is you hit the first shot using the driver. Let us say that if it is a par 3 or something, long par 3, then you are close to the green, then you start using the higher number clubs which go shorter distance. So if there is a sand trap between you and you have driven and the ball has landed here, but the ball has to go here, then you will use a pitching wedge and pitch from here to the hole. Any questions?
Nari, good evening. Ayyappan here. How are you?
Hi.
You don't put the tee in between your legs. That's only for driving or for any position that's in general.
Yeah, so the tee is only for the very first shot in each hole, right?
All right. Yeah.
So once you put the tee and then you hit it, and after that all the other shots you have to play from where it is until it reaches the green, right? When it reaches the green, you can pick it up and clean it. But
Correct.
you cannot use the tee anyway, second shot or third shot or anything.
Got it. I meant not the tee, the ball.
Sorry, what is your question?
So you said for the driving position, the ball should be aligned to the front leg, not in between the legs, correct?
Yeah,
So is that applicable only for the driving position or for any
yeah,
position?
right. Yeah, you're talking
Yes.
about this, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. That is only for driver.
Okay. Only for driver. Okay.
Only for driver. All the others is for chip shot. So the ball is actually towards the back foot,
Okay. Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
And the legs are very close together.
Mm.
Whereas for pitch shot, it is in the middle.
Okay, in between the legs.
Yeah,
Okay.
in between the legs. So driver front foot, chip shot back foot,
Back foot.
and pitch shot middle. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
good question. Any other questions?
Thank you, Navi.
Right. So this is one of the most difficult shots, sand shot, right? So they put sand trap. There are two types of sand traps. Does anybody know what are the two types of sand traps? Or two types or two locations? Where are the traps typically placed? So the traps can be typically around the green, right? So the green bunkers, right? So these are called bunkers also. Sand is called bunker, right? So there will be normally several bunkers surrounding the green. So the idea is they want to make it difficult for you, right? So you are trying to go to the green and then you will fall short or long and then you fall into the sand. So that is what they are trying. So green side bunkers, they are called green side bunkers. Whereas there will be some other bunkers also in the middle of the fairway itself, right? So that is called the fairway bunkers. So here we are talking about green side bunkers. So it is a very tough shot to hit, because for green side bunkers you don't hit the ball, right? So you have to hit the sand 1 inch behind the ball. So the idea is when you hit the ball, if you hit the ball directly, it will just get plugged into the sand itself, or it might go anywhere, right? Whereas if you hit the sand behind the ball, it will basically scoop out the ball, right? So you want to scoop out the ball from the sand. That is why for green side bunkers, you should not hit the ball. You should hit the sand 1 inch behind the ball, so that the sand will rise, and it will pick up the ball and then it will take it out of the bunker. So basically beginners, it will be very difficult. So you will keep on hitting 5-6 shots and the ball will still be in the bunker, right? Because you will be trying to hit the ball, or you are trying to hit too much behind. So you have to hit exactly 1 inch behind the ball. Only then the sand shot will work. So this is tough even for everybody, right? And then once you have done all these shots, right, you have driven and then you have done chip shot, pitch shot, bunker and everything, and finally you have reached the green, right? So the hole is finished only when you put the ball into the hole, right? So that means the only club you can use is what? What is the club you normally use in the green?
Water.
Putter, right? So putter you use here, and then you try to hit it, and here the stance is slightly different, right? So if you look at it, he is bending so much, right? He is bending so much. And here putter is, so earlier I said that all the clubs you should hold only with fingers, right? Putter is the only one you can hold with your palm, right? So you hold it with your palm, and if you look at this eye, so his eye is exactly on top of the ball, right? So this is the stance for the putting. So you have to bend so much so that your eye is correctly lined with the ball, on top of the ball, and then you aim the ball and then you hit it. So the problem with putting is that the greens are not straight. The greens will have hills, it will go up and down. So you have to see where to hit so that the ball will go to the hole. So if it goes down, then if the ball won't stop here, it will keep on running. So you have to, that is called reading the green, right? Reading the green takes time to understand how the ball will flow, right? So if you are a physicist, it is very straightforward, right? It's all gravity. So basically putting is gravity, right? So depending on the undulations in the green and so on, you have to hit it in the proper place so that it will go and get into the hole. So you basically want to get the least number of strokes to put the ball into the hole. So typically in par 4, how many strokes are you expected to use for putting in par 4? A good play.
2.
2, right? So in par 4, first shot you land on the fairway, second shot on the green, and then 2 putts. It's always 2 putts. Par 5, par 3, par everything, right? So you land on the green plus 2 putt. That is how they calculate the par, right? So how will you get? You want to take only 2 putts. That means in the first shot, even if you don't put it into the hole, you want to get to as much close to the hole as possible. Only then you can easily do tap in, or if it is very close, like 6 inches or something, it's called a tap in, right? So you can just tap in so that it is 100% guaranteed that it will go in. Suppose if you are there in a distance and then you putt and then you have another 6 feet to go, it is not guaranteed that you will take only 2 shots. People might take even 4 shots, right? So all those are counted, right? So that is the reason the idea of putting is, even if you don't put it into the hole, you reach as close to the hole as possible. And another good thing is to do is, even if you miss the hole, it should go farther than the hole, right? If it goes short of the hole, you don't have a chance at all for the ball to go in. So you have to hit it in such a way that even if you miss the hole, it will go slightly like 6 inches or 1 foot and then stop there, right? So this is a very judgmental thing, right? So because it will come only with practice. So the putting green is typically free, so you don't have to pay. You can just practice putting. That practice makes perfect for putting, right? So there is no other thing. So and also how to read the green will help. But initially, right? So initially you can go straight to the hole, and then gradually you will develop. Oh, okay, if I hit it here, then it is going to go to the left. So I will hit it to the right, and then it will go to the left and go to the hole, right? So putting is an art form.
It appears to be more simple, but probably it's not.
Right. It depends on the green, right? So if the green is wavy, if it is high in one place and low in one place, and there will be some ridges, so you have to make the ball travel through all that. So this is I have some slides on etiquette, right? So etiquette is very important in golf, right? So because if you're playing with a good player or something, they will expect you to follow certain things. That these are not like mandatory things, but you should know the etiquette so that you can do it, right? So let us say that if you hit the ball and it lands on the green, and the green is soft and it makes a hole in the green, right? So typically what they do is, in good courses, definitely public courses people may not be that strict, right? But generally you have to repair the ball, repair the ball spot where the ball landed, because they are keeping this green very pristine, right? So you don't want to spoil it. So suppose if you don't repair it, it will get solidified like that, and then when somebody is putting, right, if there is a hole here, that will deflect their putting, right? So you want to basically fix the hole for others who are following you, right? So there is a repair thing here. Otherwise you can use your even your tee, normal tee. I just use my tee to dig all around it, and then I just tap on it with the putter, and then the hole is resolved. So that and all we can show you if you are going to play, right? So this is ball marks, right? So he's saying here you have to definitely fix your ball mark if you landed, And then if you while you are at it, be a good Samaritan and fix ball marks made by other players also, because some people may not fix it, right? So if you see any ball mark, it is a good etiquette to fix it. And one more thing I mentioned is that when the ball reaches the green, you can pick it up, right? So you can pick it up. But before you pick it up, you have to mark it. So you can have some markers, or you can even use a coin, right? So basically, you put a coin in front, behind it. So wherever the hole is, right? So you should not put the coin between the ball and the hole, right? So if the hole is this side, you put the coin behind the ball, not ahead of the ball. You put the coin behind the ball to mark the ball, and then you can pick it up and you can wash it. You can not wash it, like rub it and clean it, right? So when you're putting, you want the ball to be absolutely free of any mud and other things. That is why you always have the option to mark the ball, lift the ball, and clean it. And you have to put it exactly where you picked it up, right? So you cannot put the ball anywhere else. You have to put it in the same place and then remove the coin, right? So that is how it works. Mark your ball on the green. So can anybody say what? Let us say your ball is clean, right? But you should still mark it. Can anybody say why you should mark it? Because
It might coming in the way of the other.
Yeah, exactly, right? So because there are 4 people playing, and if your ball is sitting there, right? So it may be interfering with somebody else's putt shot, right? But so that is why, if typically if you are playing friendly game with your own friends, then you don't have to mark the ball if it is not in the way of anybody else, right? But if it is the way, then it's definitely, even for us, we should definitely pick up the ball. So you should always carry some coin, or so don't carry a big coin, because that might actually deflect the ball. So like a small coin, like a dime, or even 1 cent or something, you can use it. Or there are special ball markers also available.
So Nari, well, since we are on the green, like I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you're a foursome and you all end up on the green, like the first one, does he take all the shots to get the ball into the hole, or like it still do one shot at a time?
One shot at a time. Whoever is farthest from the hole, they play, right?
Oh, the farthest one, okay.
Yeah, it's always right in golf. Whoever is the farthest always plays,
So if
even in the fairway, anywhere.
So if you're playing a foursome, then we have to wait till all 4 of the players reach the green then
Yes,
before you start putting.
exactly. You are absolutely right. As soon
Okay.
as you reach the green, you should not putt. You should just mark the ball, pick up the ball, and clean it, and wait for all the other 3 people to come.
Mm.
All 4 people come to the green, then whoever is the longest distance from the hole putts first, right? And in that order, it's always whoever is the longest distance, they putt. The only exception is, right? So suppose I am like 20 feet, right? All the others are less than that. I putt and I get it very close to the hole, right? Oh, it's only 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of marking the ball just 6 inches from the hole, I can putt out and take the ball.
Okay.
That is the only time you can finish it, right? So if it is like 1 or 2 feet, then you can putt it out.
Okay.
But otherwise, you have to just mark the ball and wait for your turn. But that is the real golf, right? So, but some people play ready golf. Whoever is ready, they play. Yeah, it's called ready golf. Most of the time, we play ready golf.
Mhm. I have one more question. You
Yeah,
talked
sure.
about like the first shot from the tee and then the chip shot and the pitch shot. What about like the shots made with irons, like when you're on the fairway? Is there any name for them, or we didn't see any pictures of the stands for those?
Right, right. Yeah. No, that's a good question. So that will be more like the stance will be more like the pitching shot where the ball
Okay.
is in the middle of the feet.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. So all the other yeah, they go long distances also, right? 5, 6, 7, all those
Right,
things.
right.
Yeah,
So if you're a long distance, like can you use a hybrid on the fairway, like, or you have
yeah,
to
you can
settle
use a
inside?
hybrid on the fairway, you can use a hybrid on the rough, except the green, you can use hybrid anywhere else. You can even
Okay.
use hybrid on the tee if it is not that much distance. You don't have
Okay.
to necessarily use driver all the time.
Okay.
Any other
And
good questions? Any other question? Yeah.
and when you're on the green, like, is there any restriction on the footwear that you can wear to the golf course? You don't want to damage the greens, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I would suggest all of you buy like a golf shoes. So I do have some links in this deck I will be sharing for golf shoe, uh, so good shoes, not too expensive. So they have spikes. They have soft spikes. You don't want hard spikes because if your hard spikes can damage. So the spikes actually give you the footing necessary, the grip necessary, right? So that you don't fall if it is raining or something, right? So there will be spike in the golf shoes. So you should not use your tennis shoes or something. You can, but you may not have the grip. And the other thing is it will get spoiled because you are walking a lot more in golf course, right? So there is mud and water everywhere. So golf shoe is definitely a good investment. So here, this is one more etiquette, right? So you should not be standing you should not be standing either behind when somebody is putting. You should not be standing so close like this guy is standing, right? So that will be distracting. And the other thing is you should not be standing between the ball and the hole. Anybody's ball, your ball or somebody else's ball, and the hole, right? You should not step on it. So your ball is here, the hole is here, and you cannot walk through here. So you have to go around. So if there are like balls, so you have to go around. So you should not be stepping on other people's putting lines. This is another etiquette. So what do we have here? So this is putting, right? Oh, this is the putting grip, right? So here, as I said, basically this is will be more intuitive, right? So this is not a very complicated grip. So you just grip it with your palm. And again, putter club face positioning. So if you look at the putter, right? So you want to keep it dead center and also not twist the so these are all not recommended. So you want it to be straight on the ground. So the putter is actually flat on the ground and the ball is in the middle, right? Ball is in the middle. So these two are the best positions, right? So you want the club on the totally on the ground and the ball in the middle. So here, what is the problem here?
Which one? Which one? The left? Second one? Yeah, left. Ball is on the left.
Yeah. Can you see the mouse or no?
I can see the mouse, yes.
Yeah, this one, what is the problem here?
The ball is on the left.
Yeah,
Extreme right, whatever.
what is
Extreme
that
right.
called? What is that called? Do you remember the name of that club thing part?
So the toe.
Yeah, so this is the toe, right? So this is near the toe, and this is near the
Head.
heel. So this is like a foot, right? So if this is a foot, this is the
Heel,
toe,
yeah,
and this is the heel.
Yeah.
And here the in the right hand side, it is not on the ground; it is lifted. So then the ball will be unpredictable. So you want to keep the putter all the way on the ground and the middle. Then it will work. So so if you see, I told you, right? So your eye is top of the ball, right? So you put the ball back, you remove the coin. So here previously you put the coin and removed the ball. Now you put the ball and remove the coin, and then read the green, right? Read the green means whether it is sloping or whatever. Take a practice swing and then take your stance. Address the ball before taking one last look at the target is given detailed thing here. And take your backswing, right? So backswing. So this is like a pendulum, right? So the backswing and the forward follow through will be the same distance, right? So if you take the club like 2 feet, when you finish, you shouldn't abruptly stop. When you strike the ball, you shouldn't stop straight away. Then it won't work. So basically, it is a fluid motion. Backswing and follow through. It goes through the same. After it hits the ball, the club will still go forward the same distance where you took the backswing. This will become much clearer on the putting green. Okay.
And Hari, there is in the previous slide they said a practice, right? So what happened when you practice? You accidentally hit the ball and it
Yeah,
moved
then
away
it will
from
be
the foot.
counted against one score. One
Oh,
putt.
it's counted.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Thank you.
What is this guy doing?
He has won.
Huh?
He has completed the game.
No. Anybody? What does this word mean?
He's warning other people that are following.
Yeah. So 4, FORE is the one you have to shout if you are hitting the ball and it is going towards a person or cart or something. It is going to hit somebody, right? Then you shout. So he's saying that it is going right, and it is might hit some person, right? So this is one of the most important things in golf, right? So the most important thing in golf is not to hurt anyone, right? Don't hit anybody with a ball or don't hit anybody with a club or anything, right? So
Is there any penalties with that?
people might see you. If you don't shout 4, so if it goes, then I mean, this is a part of etiquette, right? So if it is going towards somebody, shout 4 so that they can try to protect themselves or they can watch it. They can put their hands on top of their head or whatever, right? So there is no penalty if it hits anybody. I mean, people have hit people. I actually other day, Rory McIlroy, he hit his own dad. His dad was in the audience. He was in the course and he hit him. But yeah, this is very important. So if somebody shouts 4, then you have to watch out where they are shouting. Or if you hit some ball and it is going somewhere else, then you should shout 4.
No
4
liability.
means, is it
No
like
liability.
warning? Like just
It's like a warning.
be alert or something?
Yeah, it's a warning. Four
So
is
there
the
is
standard. You should
there,
not be shouting, "Oh, watch out" and all that. Don't shout that. Just shout 4 because that is the standard language.
but there is no liability insurance.
No,
Okay, so this is the protocol they use for
yeah,
warning
right.
people.
And
But
similar.
people are not supposed to be in golf course when they are playing. I mean, watchers, there are no spectators around. They are not allowed. They have to be out, right?
No, I mean when PGA tournaments there are a lot of spectators, and
So pretty much just as
yeah. For you also, you might hit the other players.
of course, if the other players are still at that place and you have already
Yeah,
reached there,
right. So they
you
see
might
because
by mistake it.
if your ball is not going straight and it is going like to the other fairway, then people may be there. So you might hit somebody, right? So then
Right.
that is when you shout 4. Some
So when you
courses,
hear, it's more for people to hear that somebody is shouting 4,
yeah,
means be alert. No,
correct,
it may hit you.
correct. So and another etiquette thing is fixing the divot. Divot means it's a hole hit by the club, right? So when you are hitting the actually divot, making a divot is good, right? So in the sense that if you are on the fairway and you are hitting a shot, you'll be surprised. The ground is so beautiful, but people make holes in that all the time, right? It's not bad. It's not. If you see a divot, it does not mean that they hit a bad shot. They might actually have a good shot. So first the club hits the ball, and then it goes down and then digs up the ground. That is how the divot is formed, right? So when the divot is formed, not always, but sometimes it is formed. For the good players, most of the times when they hit, it is actually formed. Then they take that grass and they actually put it back and they stomp on it so that it fixes the divot.
I mean, are there some covers? This is like a cover,
Sorry?
grass cover.
No. The same. Whatever came out from this place, it would have traveled like 10 feet, right?
Oh,
So you
find
take
it-
that and
find
put
that.
it back.
oh, you have to find it out. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen all the time. It is only certain times when it's
Yeah. Also, the ground has to be very soft for this. I think
Correct.
the ground is not that soft. Maybe after rains.
no most yeah, right, rain but good courses are very soft, right? Good courses are soft. And one more etiquette is after you play from the sand, you have to rake it. Raking the sand after a bunker shot, right? So always rake the sand so that if you don't rake, you are making a lot of foot marks and all that. A ball might get stuck in foot mark, right? So you basically rake wherever you have stepped on it. So that is why. But it's very important not to walk around all over the sand. You want to restrict your number of steps within the sand. You hit the shot and then you take the rake and then you smoothen the sand so that it is level. So raking the sand after a bunker shot.
Gary, can you rake it before your shot?
No, you cannot.
You're far away.
No, there are two reasons, right? One is if your ball is still there,
Yeah.
right? And if you're raking, it might upset the ball. Then it is a penalty, right?
Mm.
So another reason is why would you want to rake before your shot, right? If somebody else has made something,
Correct.
you cannot do that. You have to suppose somebody did not rake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your ball is there, you have to play as it is.
Oh, you have to play as it is. Okay.
Play as it is, and then you have to rake it after the bunker shot.
Okay. And do they have a rake there, or you carry
Yeah. No, there will be a rake just next to the bunker.
bunker? Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like, Nari, this game is totally opposite to the football, where there are no etiquettes at all.
Right. Yeah, I mean there are etiquettes there, but here
Yeah,
it's
when I'm saying
this
that
is
there are
this
above
is
penalties and
this is a gentleman's game, right?
yeah,
Gentleman's game,
gentleman's game. Yeah, that's what I
and
meant.
see, this is a game where you competing against yourself. You're maintaining your own score, right? You cannot cheat yourself, right? If you're cheating, you're
Yeah,
cheating yourself, right? So
yeah.
and driving range, right? So driving range, I think this is where probably we will go for our on-site lesson for people living in Philadelphia. Some people are in Canada and so on, but whoever is local, we can go to a driving range, and that is where you can, because driving range, you don't have to walk. You can just stand in one place and then try different shots.
That's for like net practice.
Yeah. Okay, order of play, right? So, okay, let us read through the whole thing, right? On the first tee, you need to choose who in the group will play first. This can be decided randomly. It's often done by throwing a tee in the air where whoever points to goes first. Right? So I mean you can decide anything. I mean this is all for professional games, right? So we can play in any order, but because we play ready golf, but this is the typical order, right? So once all four play, right, for the next hole, right, next hole, who finishes with the lowest score on the first hole tees off first on the second hole, right? So in the same order you have to maintain, right? So whoever got the best, like least score is the best, right? So whoever got the best score on the hole tees off first. So that is called honors, right? And as you play, the person farthest from the hole plays first. So this is a very, very good rule for safety reasons also, right? So because if people go all over, that is the one problem with ready golf, right? So you have to always watch out where the ball is coming from. If always all the four players play, and then whoever hit the shortest distance, which is the longest from the hole, right, farthest from the hole, and so all four will go to that place where the person hit the shortest shot from the tee box, and then they will hit it, and so on, right? So that way you are not going ahead of somebody and get a chance of getting hit. So it's a safety reason and also etiquette reason. So that is why person farthest from the hole always plays. When on the green, this is what I said before, right? When on the green you can putt out, right? But generally you get permission. So general rule is if you are the farthest from the hole, you play. Even if you have had that 4 shots and the other person has hold only 1 shot, you still have to play if your ball is the farthest from the hole.
Basically, expecting you to catch up.
Yeah, right. So if somebody hits 200 yards and you hit 50 yards, you have to keep on playing until you go to his ball.
Giving opportunity to your younger son to come reach there.
Nari, does it matter if you're playing with a group of players who starts first, batting first, bowling first kind of stuff, or it doesn't matter?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
So does it matter if you go first, second, third, fourth in the starting from the tee?
So yeah, let us say that there are 4 players, so somebody will go first, right? Somebody will go first, second, third, fourth, and then whoever is the longest from the hole plays next, right? It's always whoever is the longest from the whole plays.
Now, between those 4, I think he was asking whether who
Yeah, the
plays
very
first.
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are 4. So who? Now you are starting. So who will be second, for example, second and third and fourth? So it doesn't matter.
No,
It's not,
that is not. You can draw for it. That is what he was saying. Throw a T and do it, but you can decide in any order. Doesn't really matter because
yeah, exactly.
after that everything is governed, right? Because whoever
Yeah.
hits the best shot, they don't play, right? They wait for the other. Whoever had basically a worse shot, then they play again, right? That's what it
Okay.
means.
Once you start, then it becomes
Yeah,
just
correct.
once in life.
The second
Yeah.
shot. So for these are called majors, right? So there are 4 majors. These are like Grand Slam in tennis, right? So in tennis you have like a French Open and Wimbledon and Australian Open and US Open. Here there are 3 in US itself. There is only so Masters is in Augusta National Club in Augusta, Georgia. That just finished last week. And then US Open they have it in different courses. And PGA Championship is also US based, right? So only British Open is considered a major. So unlike tennis where all 4 are in different countries, here 3 are in US itself.
That
And
means the Masters, US Open, and PGA. Okay.
yeah, PGA
Only
they are all in
British is open.
US.
And no other country has got. What about Dubai? Dubai has got one of the
Oh
most.
yeah, they all have PGA. They all have PGA tournaments, but
Okay.
these are the 4 like Grand Slam. These are the only 4 majors.
So, but their location is decided differently, or what? Means where it will be held. This,
Yeah. Except for Masters is always in Augusta National Club in Augusta, Georgia. All the others they will keep changing the course.
So every year it is different.
Yeah, every year different course. So yeah. So
US,
I think
that's what you're saying.
so US Open they make it very very tough. Actually, so US Open keeps changing. British Open keeps changing. PGA keeps changing.
So which is considered the most prestigious?
Masters is pretty prestigious and US Open is pretty
These
prestigious.
two, okay.
Yeah,
They are
US
like
Open.
Wimbledon and maybe French Open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, British Open, of course, they invented golf in Scotland, right? So
Yeah.
the British Open is also all 4 are prestigious. Probably PGA is the least prestigious out of these.
They are held once in a year or more
Once
than
once a year, yeah, once a year.
Once a year. Okay. So, for example, they might decide this time PGA will be held in Dubai. So then it will be only held there. Everybody will go there, right?
No, this PGA championship is always in US.
Okay. So, but you said PGA could even in
No,
Dubai be
yeah,
PGA.
right. PGA championship is in US, but there
Okay.
are PGA matches,
Okay.
not championship.
They are warm-up matches, right?
No, it's
Yeah.
like Davis Cup.
No, not Davis Cup is between countries, right? So
Yeah, but I'm saying is can we have
so
when we played
you have like Sydney Open and
Yeah.
you have Miami Open like that.
Yeah.
There are so many other like Dubai. Dubai also has tennis and golf, right? So
Right.
yeah. So but they are not. Dubai is not Grand Slam, right? So like that.
Okay.
Dubai is not Grand Slam. These are all Grand Slam equivalent of tennis.
See, it's
So-
like the ATP, in tennis you
Yeah,
have the
ATP, right? ATP
matches, right?
Yeah.
So it's like small tournaments,
Yeah,
but the finale
PGA
kind of thing is
matches
the
are
PGA
like
Championship.
ATP. Yeah, correct. And then
Okay.
there are cups between countries also. So Ryder Cup is a lot of rivalry between United States versus Europe. I think they have it once every 2 years, and one time in Europe and one time in US. So they keep
like
switching.
Davis Cup. Okay.
Yeah, and then President's Cup is United States versus rest of the world, except Europe. So
So
mainly Australian players, South African players, all those players will play.
So the players progress through these local championship and then go to final, or is it
No. So
How do they reach for a championship?
which championship?
Like
any
you're
of the
saying the
four.
PGA Championship is held
Yeah,
only
yeah.
once.
So
So who are the
they
people who
based on
participate in championship?
based on correct based on their how well they have been performing in the minor matches and so on, right?
Okay,
They
so
have
they
a
get
ranking.
some marks for each
Yeah, they
match.
have a ranking system. That is
Ranking
called
system.
FedEx
Okay.
Cup. They have a
Uh-huh.
ranking system. They have very complicated formulas and they rank everybody. And then if you let us say that if you win US Open 1 year, you will be always invited for all the future US Opens,
Okay.
right?
But how they play? Like they play their individual or in teams? Like
No,
4 people play in
so
one time.
all these majors are all individual,
Okay.
and Ryder Cup is group. Ryder
Okay.
Cup is team. Ryder Cup, President's Cup, all these things are
There,
teams.
Europe, US
So
has
here
got its own core players.
everybody is competing for themselves, and typically all the golf tournaments are over 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So Thursday they will play 18 holes, and Friday they will play 18 holes. So that means total 36 holes, right? So typically let us say that 130 people start. 130 people start, right? And they will cut out half the people after 2 days. So
Okay, depends on their scores.
yeah, so depends on the score. So that is called they are getting cut from the tournament, right? So half the people they will throw out.
50% gone. Okay.
Half the people they will throw out, and only the remaining people will play the last 2 days. So you have to play 4 days and all the days score is counted. They will count all the scores, and whoever has got the lowest score wins in the over 4 days.
So 120 people start, then next day it's 60 players, right?
No, Thursday and Friday 120 people will play. Friday night, based on the score, they will decide. And Saturday and Sunday there will be only 60 people. It varies from tournament to tournament, but typically it is correct. Like half the people are cut from the
So
tournament.
out of those 60, whosoever scores the lowest, they become the champion.
They get the championship. Yeah.
Does it get tie also sometimes?
Oh yeah, if both have the same score at the end of 72 holes, then they have to play. They will replay hole 18 again, and if again both are same, then they will replay like 2-3 more holes. They will keep playing holes until one person wins a hole.
Okay.
So it's like a tiebreaker, right? Tiebreaker. Yeah.
Tiebreaker. Yeah, they have to break the tie.
Yeah.
Here it should be much easier because
Yeah.
I think they keep on playing more until they find that maybe they are giving equal number of holes.
Right. So okay, this is what you need to buy, right? So I have given, actually I will send this PDF, right? So if you click on that, you'll reach Amazon. So if you are a right-handed player, you have to buy left-handed glove, right? So typical people, I think somebody said they bought a right-handed glove, right? So it is the other way, right? If you're a left-handed person, you buy a right-handed glove, but most of us are right-handed, so you buy only one glove. You don't need two gloves, right? So you just need one. And this is tees. So 3¼ inch tees are actually good. And shoes, look at the shoes, right? At the bottom you have the spikes. So that is what
They're specially called golf shoes.
Yeah, golf shoes. Yeah, golf shoe. So these are good because you want the grip. You don't want to
They
be
should not slip. They should not slip.
Yeah, you should not slip. So that is why you need the golf shoes, right? So the tennis shoes are not good for golf. And then this is a full set. We already explained all that. And then balls you can get like second-hand balls also.
But you have different colors of balls.
Yeah, but typical color is white, and then you can get different color balls also, but they are all same type of balls. And I'm not going to go through this terminology. I will be sharing this deck, and it has got definitions of terminology.
Okay.
This is like a dictionary.
Anything you want to search, you can get that.
Yeah, so I've given a lot of terminology.
Your questions that you were asking in the beginning, the answer is there in all this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nari,
so
last week deck also, can you share?
this is the same deck.
Oh, same
Yeah,
one.
I'll share in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
Nari, this is printable, right? I can. I mean, if do you have some kind of a period? This